You can do it. Welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name is Graham Wilson, and I'm going to give you just a little bit of a midwinter pep talk in my basement. Yeah, it's about that time of year, all right. Right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of winter. So it's where I live. It's statistically the coldest time of the year. It's not bad out there today. It's just a little under freezing and we got some light snow, but it's still midwinter. But on the bright side, it's the days are getting longer. Have you noticed that? And it's going to be springtime before you know it. And but what can we do to, like this is the terrible part of the year for us pilots because that's when all the flights get canceled. And if you're a student, it's pretty miserable. I used to call it disappointment season because I'd have to call up a bunch of students and cancel their flights on them. And then you hear all this stuff. If you're an instructor, you'll know what I'm talking about. A flight instructor, yeah, we got to cancel the flight. The weather's no good. Oh man, this is the fourth time in a row. Yep, it's disappointment season. So, anyways, and hey, Corey, welcome. And Jordan says it's minus 35 out where he is in SK. Yeah, I was funny. Just before I got on here, I wanted to check on my computer on the weather. And so I checked on I got the, the Environment Canada 7-day forecast. And I clicked on it. It said minus 24. I was like, what? But the thing is, I had it set for when I was back up in Kapuskasing. So it's minus 24 in Kapuskasing right now. And luckily, it's about minus 2 right now here in Windsor. And hey, DH Pilot 1 and Wrench, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about what we can do. We got to keep in this whole flying frame of mind. And even if you're not a pilot, there's certain things I'm going to throw a couple suggestions out at you just to kind of start thinking about, okay, for most of North America here, we're getting over the hump. So maybe not quite out in Saskatchewan where Jordan is, but that's pretty far up there. But yeah, we're going to get to it. So the number one thing, I better keep track of this as I go. Time to get the whiteboard out for a few midwinter suggestions. Okay, number one. We're going to be cleaning out the flight bag today. Clean out flight bag. Now, this could be even for like non-pilots. It could be, you could kind of think about doing something that's something that, maybe you like to go fishing or something like that. You could take a look at your tackle box. Or let's just say you came back from hunting and you threw everything in the garage, and now is that getting moldy, or what's it looking? Did you put it away? Did you oil up your gun right and it's all nice and stored? Camping gear, you got your big whatever camping gear stuff you got in a box somewhere. Like, did you run out of those plastic utensils you use, or paper plates, or dish soap, or you kind of go through and do a little triage on that. Okay, here we go. So this is the old flight bag. This is the standard. I got this when I first started at Sioux College in September 2002, and I needed a little bag to bring my books to school and everything. So I went down to the mall, and I saw this bad boy on sale for $4, and I said sold. And so now it's lasted over 20 years for $4. That's not bad. And I'm just going to take a look at it here every once in a while. It's a flight bag for a lot of people is just something you get it, you toss it in the closet when you get home from flying, and then you grab it and you run out the door to go flying. And again, you don't ever really go through and do an inventory on it. So let's take a look. What do we got in here? We got a little pocket in the front. There we go. I keep my pilot's license in there. And then now might be a good time for you to take a look at, when's your medical valid till? All right, I'll do that. When's my medical valid till? I got to get it every year myself. So good till December 1st, 2023. Yep, so still good. And we'll have to worry about that in the fall. Okay, so that's cool. Radio license is in there. All right, that's all good to go for the flying season in the summer. Oh, put that back so I don't forget it. And what do I got over here? There's another, empty pocket. Nothing. I must have cleaned it out last year. So let's see what else I got in the bag. Okay, standard stuff. We got the headset. Okay, need that. Okay, I usually keep, now this is an old CFS, Canada Flight Supplement. It's all expired. I'm not doing any trips or anything. I'm going to keep that for a little bit later. Okay, got my gloves. Those are good for if you're going to get dirty around the airplane or something like that. I just got a pair of kind of winter work gloves I keep in there. Adequate. This got cleaned out a little while ago. Okay, backup sunglasses here. What do I got there? Yep, still there. Okay, so yeah, if you have glasses and you're a pilot, you got to bring a spare pair with you. Legally, not everyone does, but legally you're supposed to. If you're doing a flight test, make sure you bring them for your flight test. Some examiners might be asking for them. These are prescription sunglasses, so they'll work. Unless I'm flying at night, then I'll bring something else. And yeah, Jordan, these are the aviators, actually. I'll prove it to you. There we go. Yeah, this is what I used for my video that I did for reviewing Top Gun. You got to have the aviators, man. Well, actually, I think the first ones I got when I got a job as a pilot, they were called the Generals, and they're kind of more squared. I kind of prefer those over the aviators, actually. I think next time I'll get them next time. The next time I'll get them next time. Okay, what else we got here? We got an outdated chart. Good enough. The land doesn't change that much. Got my knee board here. If you ever do have a knee board, I just recommend to my students just to get a cheapo knee board. Nothing fancy. There's ones that have like little flaps and folds, and they kind of get in the way as far as I'm concerned. How am I doing here? Yeah, so this is, I usually keep it like a piece of scrap paper on there. You know what? I think I'm going to replace that scrap paper because if I go flying, haven't been flying with my student that I'm teaching lately. I got some paper lying around here. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's the approach chart for North Pole. Still got it lying around here. I will use that as scrap paper. Reload that up. There we go. You guys can watch me just kind of cleaning house. There we go, all ready to go. Got my pen on there. Pen doesn't work. Test your pen. You don't want to have a pen failure when you're up in the air. Yep, there's a little. I don't know. Can you see that? There you go. I'm not lying to you. I'm not being fake news here at the no fake news at the Superpilotish channel. And there we go. We got that. That's all ready to go back in. Then I got this bad boy here. I don't even know why I keep it in there. I think it's probably so I can instruct my student. One day he'll do it. The old the E6B. This was invented way back in the day for it's basically, it works on the same concept as the slide rule, and except it's in a circle, so you can just keep it in a pocket in the airplane. There you go. Calculate all kinds of fun stuff with that, and you'll need that for your written test. They have digital ones nowadays, but this one doesn't run out of batteries. So, and I saw that once. There was a guy. I went to go write a test up in Hamilton for Transport Canada, and there's a guy, he was writing his ATPL exam, and sure enough, he went into there, he started doing something, and he was like, "Oh," he was all shocked, and he left the testing area and borrowed a calculator from the invigilators there because his batteries are dead. So make sure you got, you know what? If you did have anything battery operated, backup batteries in the bag at all times. Okay, and then what else we got here? Okay, yeah, so that was it. Clean out your flight bag. That's cool. That will lead me to the next little thing that I was going to do. Yeah, okay. So while I got this stuff out, okay, well, I'll put some of it away. And like to kind of, this is what I would kind of do sometimes every once in a while just for fun when I was learning how to do navigation. And you might have heard of chair flying, but have you ever done chair navigating? Who knows? I'll just kind of, well, it's not really that rocket sciencey or anything, but let's just say you get yourself your map, your chart. It's not a map, it's a chart. Okay. And so you could just kind of imagine, like, okay, just pick some place and some other place on the map. You can just kind of, okay, so I got the map. I'm gonna, theoretically, you could do this to do a navigation exercise. You just kind of close your eyes, point. I'm gonna fly from there. Where's the nearest airport there? Okay, so that's Mattawa. Okay, flying from Mattawa to over here. Okay, it's in Northern Ontario, so there's nothing around. Where's the closest one there then? There you go, Grundy Lake Provincial Park. Oh, I've been there before. It's a good park. Yeah, there's nothing much around there. Magnetawan River Provincial Park. Never been there. Okay, I'll have to pick somewhere else. Maybe it's well, maybe if you had a float plane or something. So, and then you would draw your line and you would put up your drift lines and all this other stuff, do your calculations. But let's pretend, okay, I'll say I'm flying to Mattawa. And then you can kind of take a look at test yourself. You look at the CFS Canada Flight Supplement, and we'll see what it says for Mattawa. Big Joe Muffawas from Mattawa. Okay. Mattawa. Here we go. Okay, so if I'm going to be flying to Mattawa, let's see what information I can get from it. Okay, so it's got latitude, longitude, elevation 600 feet above sea level. Okay, what else we got here? A couple guys operate it with their phone numbers. All right, and then there's the PF. What's that? Oh, it's what everyone gets wrong on their flight test, or they start sweating on their written tests. So the PF stands for public facilities. And then we'll go back over here. I forget what all those little things are. Used to be PF, used to be page 57. I used to think of it that way, but it might be in the general section. But I think it's up to about page 58 now or something. Oh, here we go. Public facilities. All right. So what do they have in Mattawa? I'm testing myself here too. If you go to the Mattawa airport, it is, well, the runway is, how big is that runway? 2,000 feet long and 100 feet wide, and it's made out of grass. Okay, soft in the spring, occasional standing water. Okay, and limited winter maintenance. Okay, so it's not the best to fly to right now. Okay, we got the B1, so that means B is on the aerodrome. There is a telephone, and we got C2345. So within 5 nautical miles of the aerodrome, they have food, taxi, medical facilities, and accommodation. Okay, rental. So like a hotel. All right, there we go. So I know that. They sell 100 low lead fuel. They have 15 W50 oil. You got some other little stuff there. Frequency to get in is 123.2. So if you were planning your trip on your map here, write down your what would you call that, your frequency, and tower 400 AGL 1 mile southwest of the aerodrome. There you go. Then you can kind of mentally prepare. And how would I fly there? Would I calculate your weight and balance? Do you need enough gas? Can you stop anywhere to get gas along the way? So you can just kind of imagine yourself doing that, and we will call that chair navigation. So, okay. What do we got here? Okay, Wrench is asking a little question while we're talking about, isn't it a fine to have an outdated chart in your plane at all? I remember hearing that in training. Also, my bag has pilot handbooks for the Cessna 152, J3 Cub, Tomahawk, and Musketeer. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, your personal flight bag, it's like what you're going to need. So that's pretty cool. If you have an outdated chart in your plane, I I don't, there's no actual requirement for you to have an actual chart in your plane. It's a requirement that your plane is operated within the POH limitations. But for navigation, you could just, hey, I'm going over here. I think that what it is you have to have sufficient navigation things to do the trip. Navigation, what do you call that? You have to have sufficient stuff on plane to do the trip. So if this was outdated, then but maybe you're not flying. Maybe you're flying over to somebody's airport that you always go to, and you know how to get there. So you could say, yeah, I follow that road. So I have enough navigation expertise to get there. So but I've never heard of anyone getting fined for having an outdated map. It's in your best interest to do that because you never know what can change. They can, an airport closes up and you go to land and whoop, it's not there. And then, oh, hey, Chad, we should hang out soon. Sure. Welcome. What else we got? And Vanessa Kitty's here too. Hi, Vanessa. Yeah, so we got, there we go. You can do your chair navigation, and that's that. Now, let's not forget to write that down. We want to be able to do a good recap on all this stuff here. So, chair navigate. Because it's a lot easier to kind of figure this stuff out on the ground rather than bumping around up in the air. You ever try to look through one of these things when you're trying to fly, hold a heading and altitude, and you're bumping around, and you're like, then you drop it on the floor, then you drop your pen. It's just like it's kind of a big mess. But if you can do as much planning as possible on the ground, that's better than doing it up in the air. So number 3, just a simple little three-pointer here today is to chair fly. Okay, I did a video on this before. Do some chair flying here, and it's one of those things. If you've had a few flights canceled on you and you want to get up in the air, it could be for anything really. That anything you're trying to learn, or let me see here. Say you're going for I don't know, your truck driver's license or something like that. The more you can imagine things, the better it's going to be when it's showtime, Or yeah. So if you're chair flying, I mentioned that before, is basically just to kind of sit in a chair, imagine yourself actually to the best of your ability in the airplane, and every single pilot does this. Like I don't know anyone that hasn't done this before they've gone solo, but they kind of get out of it. But if you haven't flown in a few months, it can save you a little bit of money, even by just imagining it. I knew this one guy. He hadn't flown in about 2 years. I think it was actually about 4 years. And he wanted to get checked out on the plane. So I went flying with him, and he said, I haven't flown for 4 years. I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see how rusty this guy is. And he went up and he did everything exactly to flight test standards, like perfect. It was like, you haven't flown in 4 years? And he said, oh yeah, but he had this wicked flight simulator at home, and he set it up for the exact same instrument panel as the plane we were flying. He imagined the route, and he said, oh yeah, he's like, I'm totally believe in visualization. He was a weightlifter and stuff like that too. And so if you concentrate even on your proper form for working out, that will improve your form at the gym too. So this guy was really into that. And yeah, the guy did a fantastic flight. So chair flying is not just for the people that haven't gone solo yet, and they got to get all this stuff together for flying a circuit, as the Canadians call it, or doing laps around the pattern, as the Americans call it. So yeah, so it's like you can do some chair flying. And what else could I tell you here? It's just more than anything, just kind of hang in there, man. We're where I am anyways. This is statistically pretty much the coldest day of the year. Statistically, it gets better from here. Days are getting longer. So hang in there. This is a little pep talk for you, and hopefully you can make it through disappointment season. So yeah, what are our midwinter suggestions? And I only did three because it's like, you know, if I had a big list of 50, you'd forget them all. Clean out your flight bag, or if you're a fisherman, your tackle box. If you're a hunter, did you clear up all that stuff from hunting season? What else did I say there? Camping gear. If you're going camping in the summer, are you going to set up camp and go, I forgot this. That happens all the time, right? So, and one other thing, for if you're camping too, what I like to do is take the batteries out of my flashlight. If you got a headlamp or something like that, I take what I did. I don't know if I told you guys about it, but I take the batteries out of my headlamp for, if you're camping. Take them out, and I usually have a pair of like leather work gloves that I bring camping, so you can grab a pot. If it's boiling water, it acts as like an oven mitten too. And then so I put the batteries in the fingers of the work glove. And so when I go, oh man, I forgot the batteries. Then you go to put on your glove, and you're like, oh, there they are. So you won't forget. And that was a little tip. Camping stuff or your flight bag, make sure it's everything's there that you need, or even throw out the old stuff you don't need. And you can always chair navigate with your map, with your CFS. Practice something. If something you don't even understand, you could always call up our good people at Nav Canada, 1-866-WX Brief, and for real life interaction, they'll help you out. Okay, and do some chair flying. So by that I mean, I'm imagining myself, here I am in the airplane. I'm going to go take off. Okay, I have to give it full throttle. I'm going to rotate at 53 knots or whatever it is. I'm going to climb out at 74. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. And don't forget my right rudder when I'm taking off. Stuff like that. And I'm going to turn left now into a climbing turn, no more than 20 degrees bank. And then, did I look before I turned? Oh, look, turn, So anyways, you can do as much chair flying as you want. It's cheap and it'll save you. Like, say, if you wanted to get checked out on a plane, you might get it on the first shot rather than the second shot, and that's going to save you money by imagining it. So, okay. Yeah, so there we go. Those are the three things. And I'll just kind of go through a few of your scroll through some of the chat here. And there we go. That's about it for today. I'm looking for. Eventually, I'll be checking out the super chats, and then I'll become a slave to the people that pay me. Okay, what do we got here? What do we got here? Deck of cards. Yeah. I think Corey's talking about having a deck of cards somewhere. Yeah, deck of cards. That's good to bring for camping and stuff. Okay, what else we got here? Okay. Yep, and then Wrench is getting a new flight bag here too, by the looks of things. Okay, that's pretty cool. What else we got? And so I saw Vanessa Kitty said something in here, but I can't really. It's hard to. Well, I've said it before. It's like you see the stuff scrolling, and it's hard to kind of keep talking. And eventually, you can kind of. It's like playing guitar and singing. It's like it takes a little multitasking there. And DH Pilot 1 saying review emergency procedures. Yeah, how often do you do that? Once you get your license, you never think about like, oh, what happens if my engine quits? Because that'll never happen, right? Well, you want to be prepared if it does. That's one of the things. For aviation, if you are prepared, it won't happen. but if you're not prepared, you can guarantee it happening. So that's pretty good. And okay, here we go. What did I see? Vanessa Kitty fills containers ahead for camping. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, you know what? That's another thing too. I have like sugar cubes and like some stuff like what is it? I had this one stuff. It was called I can't believe it's not butter spray because like it's not butter. It's just like chemical stuff. But if you ever get like corn on the cob, like there's no expiry date on it. So this thing was like, geez, it had to be like 10 years old. This old soy goo, sort of salty, kind of buttery kind of stuff. And it kind of finally gave up the ghost last time we were camping. It was like, it turned into some weird wax. So, okay, I'm not going to eat that. But yeah, that would be something to check out. What do you got for food? And all right. So there we go. There's some tips, and I'm glad you liked them, Jordan. Yeah, so that's about it. What we will do. Yeah, there we go. Some pretty nasty stuff on the corn there, Denise. Okay, yeah, that's it. So today is Monday. So I'll be back on Wednesday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And I'm going to be eating a lot better than some butter spray crap corn today. So, oh, and Wrench used to keep candy bar in the bag. Yeah, like granola bars and stuff. They last for a long time. Lots of good tips out here today, everybody. So, and that is about it. We're going to shut her down. So, thank you for watching. Bye.